All right, guys, we are going to get started here. What I want to get into today is kind of taking something that I've been talking about in the drill videos and meshing it with some of the hitting stuff we've talked about in the past. I think maybe I'm getting a little bit frustrated, if I'm being honest, with the way guys are approaching this time and how you guys are going about your work. Maybe not everybody, but some people. Not just Dodgers guys, but other people that have been reaching out to me. And I want to take a chance or take an opportunity to explain another way of talking about self-coaching, all right, and what that means and how you guys can do that. I think it's great that we have good coaches on staff that are able to give you guys a ton of knowledge. But what I don't like about that is there's a lot of guys that sit back and wait to be told what to do instead of figuring out a way or searching out a way to get information and then apply it. Okay, so I'm going to flip the screen around really quick, show you guys our quote for today. And this for any of you guys that are on an iPad or your iPhone or a MacBook, Steve Jobs is the guy behind Apple, or was the guy behind Apple. My quote for today is: creativity is just connecting things. It's a very simple quote, but I think it's a very profound quote for what we're talking about, because to me, the connection is taking the information that you guys get and finding ways to apply it to your specific game or your specific training style, and then making it work and coming up with a product that works on the field once we get there. I think because of this really unique situation we're in, maybe it's an actual opportunity for us to learn more about you guys individually, how you need to go about training and preparing yourself for your games. It's one thing to just take the information that a coach gives you and learn it, but if we have that information and we don't know how to apply it, it's never going to be that impactful. Okay, so I'm going to flip back around really quick. So what I want to do today is take a video that we've used in our video library that you guys, some of you guys, hopefully all of you guys have seen in the past, and let's talk about ways that we can use a mechanical based thing, okay, drill work, ideas, okay, and apply it to the drills that you guys are able to do right now at home, or if you guys are able to go to a park and whatever that is. Because what's building my frustration is the fact that I'm getting emails, messages on social media. Hey, here's a video. Can you take a look at it and let me know if this is a good swing? Which in and of itself is not a bad thing. Okay, but more importantly, what I think we're falling into the trap of right now is because of the situation that we're in with, I have a catch net in my backyard, I have a tee, and I have a bucket of baseballs. So I'm just going to set that tee up 2 or 3 feet away from my catch net. I'm not going to worry about where the location is of the pitch, and I'm just going to grip and rip and hit into that net. The problem is, take away the net, and now what do we have? Okay, did I just take 55 good swings but hit 55 ground balls? Because that's not productive. The swing might be great, but it doesn't mean the result is great. Okay, so we were going to talk about internal parts of our swing, meaning my mechanics and the things that I can work on there, and then the external things that are going to be affecting my swing: pitch location, timing, the result of where the ball goes. Okay, we have to think about both sides of it if we're going to be a good hitter. It can't just be, do I have a good swing? Okay, we've all taken really good swings and come up empty. Okay, that happens. Every good hitter does it. Okay, but there's also the ability to take a bad swing and still have a good result. So that's where the external part comes into it, is how do I work on my internal things, the things that I can control in my swing itself, and still have them relate to the external factors that are going to be there as a hitter, and how do I make sure that they produce a good result on the field? Okay, so my challenge to you guys, I'm going to post a video after we're done here on social media stuff. I went in my alley yesterday. Okay, now I have an alley. My challenge to you guys is going to be find, whether it's you've got a big backyard with a fence, you've got an open field, if it's at a park or whatever, as long as you're not around other people, still do your social distancing stuff, but find a space and get away from your catch net with some wiffle balls, tennis balls, light flight balls, anything else that you have other than baseballs. unless you're in a completely open space where there's no one that you're going to hit or there's nothing that you're going to break. But see what happens when that catch net's gone. Okay, has that work that you've been putting in producing good results? So if you jump out there and now you don't have a catch net, and all of a sudden you jump out and you hit 20 consecutive balls into the ground, that means you need to make an adjustment. And when I talk about self-coaching, that's not something where you're sitting and waiting for a coach to tell you what to do. Okay. If I have to have a coach over my shoulder tell me I shouldn't hit a ground ball every time, then there's no creativity that I'm using to see if I'm a good player. Or there's no self-coaching going on to let myself know, maybe I need to be doing something different with the internal things that I can control to affect the external product. Okay, so if I'm popping 20 balls up in a row, okay, what can I do differently to level that out now and produce a high rising line drive that I want? Okay, so when I talk about creativity, internals, externals, all right, I want to make sure that you guys are thinking about these things, okay, not waiting to be told. And at the end of the day, that's what being a self-coached player is. Okay, so I'm going to run us through the very first video we do at the beginning of every year. And we're going to talk about a couple ways that you guys at home can take this internal thing that we're talking about, a swing mechanic, and apply it to some things that you guys can do outside. And hopefully this will give you guys a different perspective on ways that you can approach your at-home training. All right, so give me 1 second. I got to flip the screen really fast here. I'm going to share with you guys. Someone playing music for us? All right. So you guys hear me? Let me really quickly, sorry about that, just say what I was saying during the pause there. Were you guys, somebody on the message, were you guys able to hear the video? Guys, next time, give me a heads up a little quicker. I'm going to replay that so you guys can hear it. Last 10 years. One thing to keep in mind is that some of the things that we talk about might be different than you've learned in the past. And all that we ask is that you keep an open mind, because this is a process. Over the course of 14 weeks, we're going to break down different things, and it's going to build week to week so we reach our ultimate goal, which is to create the most athletic, fluid, and strong swing that we can. And we don't use the word mechanics very often because we work on athleticism. We're from week to week on different skill sets. So it's going to start out slow so that we can get a feel for what we're doing. And over the course of the training program, we're going to speed it up so that our sequence stays smooth throughout the process. Week 1 is very important. We're going to start with what might be the most important aspect of hitting, and that's getting to an athletic position and being able to hold it throughout our swing. Now, there's a lot of different ways that we can get to that point, and that's what we'll talk about in week 2. It's important that we get to a position called 50-50, meaning that our head is centered in the middle of our feet from the time that our front foot lands until the time that we finish our swing. This is going to do 3 things for us. It's going to help keep our head stable so we're able to pick up the ball better. It's going to allow our sequence to work more smoothly so we get more out of our body. And it's going to allow us to be in the most athletic position we can so that we can maximize all of our athletic movements and finish our swing with the biggest max effort that we can. Take a look at some of the... All right, now I'm going to pause again. Sorry about that, guys. What I was saying there is the reason I'm pausing it here, okay, is because I want to remind you guys about making those connections. Okay, and specifically here, now we're going to go through a mechanical piece of our swing, which is an internal thing that we're controlling. Okay, and now we're going to talk about how that connects to an external part of our swing, which is the result. Okay, so I want you guys to be thinking through things like, okay, first and foremost, do I do this as part of my swing? Okay, is this something I do well, or is this something that I need to practice? Okay, and then number 2, however I do it, whether it's good, bad, whether my head moves frontwards to backwards or side to side, whatever that might be, how do I connect that to the results I'm getting when I hit the baseball? Okay, because self-assessment is the same thing as being a self-coach. If I'm just hitting and I'm not worrying about thinking about what's going on after I hit the ball, then really am I putting in any work, or am I just moving through and swinging the bat? Okay, so when you're watching the next couple minutes of this, I want you thinking about things like, how does my head position affect where the ball goes when it leaves my bat? And what can I do to improve that to produce a better result? All right?
World's best hitters. You'll see that to be a good hitter, to be a great hitter, this is absolutely important that we hold this position throughout the finish of our swing. It applies to all levels, good high school hitters, good college hitters, and even some of the world's best softball players. All do in order to make sure that they get the most out of their swing. They put consistent results on the field. This week, we're breaking down.
Okay, pausing it again. All right, so we're going to have a breakdown here. You're going to see that. And I want you to continue thinking about, okay, what has my routine at home so far been? And am I working anything like this into it? Or am I just sitting there and gripping and ripping? Okay. I'm going to guess for many of you guys, that's probably been the case. And that's okay. Because at this point, as long as you guys are putting in work, that's the first step. Okay, but now we're getting to the point where cabin fever is starting to set in. Guys might be getting bored with their tee work. Guys are looking for something else to progress into. And that's where, as a self-coach, it's important for you guys to find ways to make it productive and stay interested in it, okay, and keep it fun. Okay, so now I'm giving you guys a piece. Your job is to find a way to apply it to what you're able to do at home, and I'm going to continue to give you guys ways to do that.
Buster Posey, as you'll see through the clips, his head stays centered in his feet throughout his entire swing, allowing his lower body to start the process, to create separation through the middle of his swing, and for his hands to stay through the hitting zone until he finishes.
All right, so that should give you guys a pretty good visual. All right, the next part of this, we're going to go through the drills that are on the video. I'm going to help you guys, at least for today, think of creative ways you can do them at home with stuff that you have, okay, rather than just saying, well, I don't have that, I can't do that drill. I'm going to help you guys think like maybe I have been when I've been doing the videos out in the garage and out in the alley, so you guys can apply it at home.
Demonstrating for us this week is Jack Sawinski. 2 years ago, Jack was drafted in the 15th round out of high school by the San Diego Padres. Jack's been training at play ball since he was 10 years old and was a member of the Illinois Indians from 10U all the way through 18U. You'll see in the next few clips, just like Buster Posey, once he gets his front foot down, his head stays centered, and his entire body is going to work around his hands. Jack was drafted because of his power bat and does a great job of getting everything out of his body. Our first drill this week utilizes a balance beam.
Guys, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel that's on the video. I'd rather talk myself, because I'm going to guess that probably 9 out of 10 guys don't have a balance beam like that. Probably 99% of you guys don't have a balance beam like that at home. Okay, and that is totally fine. I wouldn't expect you to. So what do you have at home to do something similar like this? Okay, if you've got a piece of wood in the garage that you can put on the ground and stabilize, you can use a piece of wood. Okay, but if you don't have something to stand on, you don't even need that. Right? Take a piece of sidewalk chalk, draw a straight line, draw a circle where that blue cone is so that you know where your head should be, and there's your balance beam. Okay, if I'm being creative and I'm trying to find ways to get my work in, that's the first thing that I would think of. Okay, I don't have a balance beam. That's fine. What can I use? It doesn't have to be about standing on the beam. You can just draw a line on the ground and make sure that your feet stay on the line. Okay, it's finding things like that as reinforcement to help you put your work in. Okay, and now you know, okay, I'm doing an internal thing correctly. I'm making sure I stay 50-50. I'm making sure I stay balanced. And now I can flip around my tee away from the screen, grab some wiffle balls, take some swings, and see what that ball flight is, and adjust what I'm doing based on the flight of the ball. Okay, it's not rocket science. We don't need to break down every piece of our swing to see if it's working. If we produce the result we want, at least to some extent, it's working. All right.
Notice the blue cone at the center of the beam.
I'm going to go ahead further and pull us to the next drill. All right, this is another thing that I know you guys don't have at home. All right, we use the balance beam, or we use the plyo platforms a lot for stability. I know you guys don't have those, and so what can I do instead of those? All right, the whole point of this drill is to stabilize our body and stay centered. Okay, so even though you might not have ramps that push you into that position, grab that sidewalk chalk again, and just like where you see tap on those platforms, draw 2 circles on the ground. And then your goal is to create that stability yourself, keep your feet in those circles, and now you can still do the same drill without having those metal platforms pushing against you. Okay, it's obviously a little bit different, but you can still get the same thing done in the end. And that's a creative way that you can produce something and still get very productive reps. Okay. The other thing, I want to pause it right there. Move the tee around, okay? Because another external element of the swing is pitch location. So if you guys are doing your tee work and all you're doing is setting the tee up where it is right there in that image, center cut, just out in front, and I'm only hitting one ball every day for 3 weeks, what's going to happen when they put a ball? I don't know if you guys can see my mouse on the screen. What happens when a pitch is right here? Or what happens when a pitch is right here? If the only thing I'm practicing is hitting one location, I'm not thinking about anything external. I'm just gripping and ripping. All right. Move the tee inside, move the tee outside, up, down, practice every location. That's the adjustability that we talk about. Okay, guys? I'm going to get off of this screen. I'm going to flip it back around really quick. The drill video that I'm going to be posting in a little bit here, I filmed it yesterday as well. I think it's a great way to do what we just talked about. And What I want you guys to do is, like I said at the beginning of the video, find a spot that's open, that you don't need to use the catch net, and see what's going on with the baseballs, whether it's a wide open field where you can't break anything and you want to use your baseballs, or if you've got wiffle balls, tennis balls, light flight balls, then you can use that in a little bit more of a refined space. But what I did to keep it fun, and you guys will see this in the video, I'm working in an alley, so I have to hit the ball straight up the middle unless I turn my body. But I'm lucky enough that at the end of the alley is a fence. Our garage, we're the last garage on the alley, and then it dead ends to a fence. So, I kind of have a built-in home run fence, for lack of a better term, right? Without having HitTrax, without having Rapsodo, without having a radar gun even, or a pocket radar to tell myself how hard I'm hitting the ball, I can certainly still tell myself how far I'm hitting the ball. And that's just another judge of exit speed as much as the actual speed itself. Okay, if we're not working with all the technology that we normally do, why not give myself a metric, being a distance marker, and see if I can hit it to that marker every time, whether that's a fence. If you just put something up that's out in front of you, if you're in an open field, give yourself something to work towards. Now, when that gets too easy, back yourself up. Okay, if I know I'm constantly having to work harder to hit the ball farther, I'm going to produce pretty good results. Okay, that's also another way to talk about trajectory. Okay, if I want to hit the ball as far as I can, I need to hit it at the right angle for it to get there. So if I'm burying balls into the ground, or if I'm popping everything up, I'm not going to reach my goal. Okay, so as simple as it sounds and as fun as it is to play home run derby with yourself, there's your self-coach right there. And it's productive. Okay, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything that's going to hurt your swing. Quite the opposite. Okay, you're actually having better reps because you're seeing what the ball's doing and you're able to adjust like that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with hitting into a catch net, especially on the days where we've had some pretty crummy weather and we're stuck in a garage. That's a great thing to do, and that's a good way to get reps. But we have to make sure those reps are productive. Okay, the last thing I want is for you guys, when you get back onto a field, it's great to feel like I put in all this work and I was hitting every day and I took 200 swings a day. Okay, but if I took 200 swings a day and all I did was ground out to the shortstop 200 times, when I get back outside, I'm going to have to make a pretty quick adjustment to not ground out to the shortstop every day. Okay, so being a self-coach, okay, connecting the dots, let's make sure that that rep work that we're putting in is functional prep work that's going to translate to on-field results. And it's really easy for you guys to do without having a coach there. Okay, it just takes a minute of that self-analyzation to say, okay, is this working or is this not working? Or ask your parents, hey, take a look at this. You may be able to see the flight of the ball better than I can when I'm hitting into the tee. What's it doing? Okay, if you guys want, send it to us. We'll help you out. Okay, but let's make sure the work we're doing is productive and having fun doing it. Because with being stuck back at home for another couple more weeks, if you guys get bored, you're not going to want to do it. Let's be honest. Okay, no one wants to sit in front of a tee for an hour a day and put swings in and there's no result for it. Okay, and I get that. I totally understand. But you still have to do it, guys. You have to find a way to continue getting better during this time. And if you're bored and you're not putting your effort into it, that's not going to be okay. I know you guys are all excited to get back on the field, but let's keep in mind that just getting back on the field, that's just me being somewhere, okay? Getting back on the field and having the results that you expect or that you're used to having, okay? Or more importantly, that you've earned by putting in so much work this offseason, let's make sure that we're doing the right things that we need to do so that when we get outside, we have the experience that we want to have. Okay, guys? I think I'm only getting a little bit frustrated because I want to see you guys do so well, and I think that some guys are spinning their tires. Okay, so then rather than worry about, am I taking the perfect swing? Okay, let's think about taking good swings, but having good results as well. Okay. I'm going to put that video up as quick as I can. Same thing with another workout. I know we're supposed to get some crummy weather here. The younger group's only about 4 o'clock. So we've still got a couple more hours to get outside, get some work in before the weather turns. So get on that. Try some different things. Be creative. Those 2 drills that we just had in the video today, do those with a new perspective of how is this affecting my swing and how is this affecting my result, and see how that changes how you approach your own training. Okay, guys? Tomorrow, I will post this evening in an email to your parents times for each team that we're going to have myself and your coach and all of you guys in a team hangout session to do some team building activities where you guys will actually be able to talk to each other. I know probably missing each other, spend 4 months practicing, and then all of a sudden we don't see each other for a month. So it's a little weird. So I want to get you guys back together talking. We'll have some topics that we talk about as a team, and then we'll start building that into our regular routine next week. All right, fellas. So I'm going to cut it off right now. Let you guys get outside, get some work in before it rains. Be safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.